Hey guys, this is Ed with EvolvedFarming.com. Here with the reaction video. Yesterday we had the continuation of the Traditional Skills Summit. I posted a reaction video to the first session called Weather Gardening. Today I'm going to address session 2 and 3 yesterday on the first day. Session 2 was Vegetable Fermentation with Lisa Bass. And this is interesting for me because I am more of a mild prepper who met somebody who introduced me into homesteading, and then that became into scaling up Squibwich Farm, which I'm a part of, to a market garden farm, which is the fight, the battle, the journey that we're going through right now. So things like canning, or in this case fermentation, are new to me, and I love fermented things. Okay, occasionally watch some cooking shows and you get the whole, oh yeah, I'm gonna pickle or ferment some onion and add it to something, and I always found that interesting and wanted to try it, but there's a lot of stigma around it. And Lisa Bass broke it down very, very well. And essentially, lacto fermented vegetables are great for health and preservation. And what did I really learn? I learned that it's really simple. The basics of it are, there's one brine that works for almost everything. And it taught me to move past the idea that something that's fermented might be complicated. Really, it's simple at the end of the day. If it smells bad, if you have mold, you toss it out. Otherwise, go ahead and enjoy it and give it a try. So I've decided I'm going to do some garlic and carrots, and it was good. It was supportive. It was encouraging. So I thought she did a very good job with that. And then into the evening, sort of the main session on day one, was Joe Salatin, who's, the godfather of, permaculture, at least modern permaculture now. And he was talking about reclaiming pasture lands. And there were so many nuggets of information he threw out. And I'm going to give you the highlights of it here right now. So, some wisdom from Joe Salatin. The smaller the animal, the greater the return per acre, but the greater the labor per acre effort that you need to claim. So basically, if you have a cow, right, large animal, you're going to have a smaller return per acre, but you're going to have very little work. If you want to use that acre and you want to run chickens on it, smaller animals, you're going to have a much greater financial return on it, but there's a lot of extra labor that goes into it. So very great, simple principle that he threw out there. Another one, it takes about 3 years of adopting really a permaculture land management strategy. Use those principles to heal the ground and allow the native seed bank that's buried below to take back over. So it's a journey. Little by little, you begin to transform the land, and you need to stick with it and keep going. Next, he wrote, turkeys will eat anything, which I thought was fantastic. We have some turkeys at Squibwich, and the ones that we brought on, they were kind of rescues, and we're beginning to build out a flock. And they were really kind of tied to grain, and they're just learning now how to forage for themselves in their tractors. We move them across the back paddock, or the middle paddock, in our farm. So next, don't look for the quick fix. You need to bring the effort to manage the land and make the change. There is no quick fix. You're not going to go ahead and say, oh, let me just go plow it and dump fertilizer in it. The truth is, if you want this to work and you want that seed bank to come back and be healthy, you're going to have to put the effort into managing it and put that 3 years in. Next, if animal manure is loose and too wet, you know that you're regrazing your paddocks too soon, that grass hasn't grown up enough to a mature state, that it's going to be in a juvenile state or so. So that was interesting for me, that the manure is loose, slow down your land management. I think at Squibwich right now, we're probably on our third pass through at this point in the season of the different paddocks of land. And we have been on our land management better than ever this year. So great advice there with that. That's one that we'll look out for with our goats and our pony. That's the collective that we have working together. And he talked about that as well, that The goats will want to eat everything that's above their shoulders, and you look at cows and horses, everything that's going to be below. So the pony does really well taking down everything that's close to the ground, and the goats go for all that taller growth. It's a real good mix in there, and it's great to see them together because, man, we've posted some videos at squibwitch.com, just how in 4 days they can just take something that is so lush and overgrown and just take it down to the base and get it reset. So that's great. He also said, buy run-of-the-mill female livestock and put your money into the breeding of the bull, the male, because your bull determines 50% of your entire flock. That entire single animal does. So bloodline, lineage, something that works in your ecosystem. The male is going to be most important. Your stud is going to be most important. The most complementary combo is an herbivore and a bird together. So at Squibwitch, right, we have horse, goats, and then chickens go in afterwards. So it's a great combination to have. Waterfowl eat way more grass than any other animal that has a beak. Ducks will eat 70% of their diet essentially from just that land there. And the last one was for soil tilling. Ducks scratch the least, turkeys scratch the ground the next most, and chickens will scratch the most. So when you're looking to maybe take that manure from a sheep or a cow or a horse and kind of have it worked in as they're breaking the larva cycle for things like flies, at the end of the day, the ducks are going to do the least amount of effort to try to till that land and mix that manure in, and chickens will certainly do the most. So Salatin never disappoints. We've seen him a couple of times in the past, read his books, seen videos, and he was just amazing. So that was a really great highlight for me and some wonderful wisdom that he shared. So I got links below to both of those sessions. They said they'll be up for the rest of the week and then probably goes into their private library afterwards. But if you missed it, go watch it. Salatin was fantastic. That's it from evolvedfarming.com. Have a great day.